Who's first?
Fine with the mic. Have any questions? Start with Ryan.
Hey, John, do you expect Drew Lock to be signed by the Broncos right now?
We'll see. I'm not going to make a prediction one way or the other, but, we're hoping that he's going to be here. Nothing surprises me anymore, so we'll see what happens.
When you look now as on the eve of camp, where does your hope come from this team in terms of rebounding and getting back to where you want to be, knowing your expectations?
Well, obviously with a new staff change and Vic coming in, we're excited about Vic being here. And I think that looking at what happened in the offseason, the draft that we had, the UFAs that were signed with Joe Flacco coming in, I think it's this time of year that everybody's always excited about their team. But we had a good offseason. But we've got a long way to go. And just under 2 months till the first game, so we've got a lot of work ahead of us, and so hopefully we can get there. But this is always exciting, but we'll see what we have once we get going in training camp.
With the sophomore class, Chubb, Sutton, Hamilton, Phil Lindsay, Freeman, those guys, what are your expectations for them, and how crucial is it for them to take a big step up to have a successful year?
Well, they all had great years. Really for their first years, and so we always hope that they make that big step in the second year. I think that. Having been through the process for them, understanding what the NFL is all about, they got a good feel for it. So I think they're much farther ahead mentally coming into their second season, and especially, even though we have a new offense, it's similar to the one we had last year. So we expect them to take steps, and hopefully they do, especially at the running back position because we got a lot of youth there.
Yeah, John, what's the expectation for Emmanuel during camp and the preseason, and then also, can you talk about the leap of faith? In some regards, you made with the young receivers, and any veterans or anything like that?
Well, we had hope the whole time that Emmanuel was going to be back. And so I think that the leap of faith came with the fact that we thought he was going to come back. But if he didn't, with the young ones that we did have, that we felt we were in good situation there, but we had to wait. It was kind of a wait and see. So, Emmanuel looks good. He's not going to go on PUP. He'll start practicing from day one. Obviously we're going to work him in slowly. So we're excited about seeing where Emmanuel is. But he's had a great off season. He's handled everything really well, and so we'll break him in slowly. So, the leap of faith was we believe in the young guys we have, and so, and again, like I said, the expectations that Emmanuel's going to be able to get back.
John, back at the draft, you said that you wanted to, when you drafted Drew Lock, that you kind of foresaw this as like an Aaron Rodgers type of model. Why do you believe in that model of quarterback development, and do you believe that can still work in the modern NFL?
Well, it's always hard for a first-year quarterback to come in and start, and I think that unless you're, a high pick or whatnot, or you don't have anything at that position, and usually you're there if you're picking that high for a reason, and so we just felt that. With Joe coming in and be able to get him in a trade and where he is in his career and feel like he's in his prime, and at least we hope he is, and to be able, a young guy like Drew learn under him and be able to kind of solidify that position for a while. Obviously, we've been looking for one since Peyton retired, and so that's always a difficult position to fill, but finally feel pretty good about that position and where we are. Yeah, we do. We're excited about it. Obviously very young, but Hireman coming back to kind of lead the group. But, with Noah getting in the first round, the speed that he has, and so, and then Jake Butt coming back, see where he comes in. So we feel like we're in really good position at tight end with a lot of youth. But we'll have to see how they adjust. But it is, with Noah, when we drafted him, really felt with the speed that he has, gives us a real threat at the tight end position and be able to stretch the field for us.
Hey, John, what kind of pressure is Garrett Bowles under this year, and what kind of work does Mike Munchak have in front of him this season?
Well, first of all, everybody on this team's under pressure. It's a pressure game. We've got to win. So, everybody at their position's under pressure. So you got to play well. So Derek's in every position, everybody else, the same position everybody's in. We got to come in, we got to play well. I think Mike Munchak will help him tremendously. And I think that, depending on who the left guard is, obviously with the leader in the clubhouse right now is Reisner. But we'll see how that shakes out during camp. But I think Mike is a tremendous offensive line coach, and I think his expertise and his background and where he comes from and having played the position, being a Hall of Famer, and then the coaching career that he has, I think, it's really going to help us in the offensive line.
Going back to all the change, new coach, new schemes, new coordinators, how different does this year feel for you going into this season? How optimistic are you?
Well, I think that this is always the exciting time of year because you get to see what you have. And once we get the pads on, we get a better feel for everybody. And then we get into the preseason, get a feel for the young guys and the players that we haven't seen play. So it's an exciting time of year. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, and I think that we always have high expectations of ourselves, but we just know that, in the position that we're in and the last 2 seasons that we've had, we've got to take it one day at a time, and that's what we're going to do. And I think we're in good shape, too. I think being in early, having the extra week playing in the Hall of Fame game, I think is going to help us with a new staff. And so, I think that's a positive for us being in early.
Yeah, John, following up on that, after the last couple of seasons, what are the realistic expectations? You just want a better record, get in the playoffs?
Well, I'll let you guys set that. We know what our goals are, and the bottom line is, I never went into a season going saying we're going to be 10-6 because I think we walk into every game with the idea that we can win it. And so the bottom line is we've got to go and execute and play well, and obviously you got to get a little bit lucky and stay healthy. But, our expectations are to take it a day at a time, get through preseason, see what we have, and then, look forward to the opener in Oakland and really take it, 1 week at a time. But, obviously there's a lot of unknowns because it's a new staff and a lot of new players, and so we'll put that all together. But, we're hopeful to have a good year.
John, having Chris back, what do you think of the new look of the secondary this year, and what's your confidence level in that group?
Well, I think that obviously we've played good defense, the last 4 years, maybe not as good as we'd like the last couple years, but I think with Vic's expertise on the defensive side as well as Ed Donatel and the whole defensive staff that, with the scheme that we're going to changes on the defensive side and the people that we have, I think we have a lot of flexibility in the secondary and a lot of good football players. So that gives the coaches a lot of options.
John, when you acquired Joe Flacco, you had mentioned you think he still is in his prime. What have you seen since you've acquired him to this moment that gives you more hope or makes you believe in Joe?
Well, a lot of times you don't get to see a guy throw every day. And I think when you watch Joe Flacco throw, he's got the ability to make every throw and to throw it with touch and throw the ball downfield. And he's got a strong arm and can see, and he moves well in the pocket, and so. I think that when you get a guy, and a lot of times systems fit guys, and a lot of success comes with the system. I'm excited about Rich and the system that he brings from San Francisco. And Joe's, best years were in that system. And so combining all that with Joe, anytime you get traded midway in your career or, two-thirds way through your career, you get something to prove.
John, a couple of years ago you sat here with the first-year head coach next to you, and now you have another first-year head coach. What's different this time around with Dave?
Well, and I don't want to say anything bad about VJ, and so it's always hard to compare. I enjoyed working with VJ for the 2 years that we worked together. Obviously, we didn't have the success that we needed to have, and so therefore, we needed to make a change. And so, like I said, we didn't win like we needed to win. I'm looking forward to working with Vic. Vic's got a tremendous amount of experience in his background. He's proven to win. He's proven to be an expert on the defensive side. And that's what, as I told you when we hired Vic, that I was looking for was an expert, that was somebody that was great on one side of the ball. And Vic's proven to be great on the defensive side. So I think he's more than ready. We've really enjoyed working with him this offseason. And as I said, the maturity and the experience that Vic has, I think will turn into really good things.
Cortland had to finish last year as the number one receiver. Coming into this year, what are your expectations for him to take a big leap forward?
Well, we have, obviously we think a lot of Cortland. We think there's a lot there, and there's, he's only scratched the surface of what we think he can do. And so the year under his belt's going to be huge for him. He knows what to expect as we talked about earlier. And he's a big target that's competitive and wants to be great. So we're thrilled he's on our team and think that he's just going to continue to get better this year.
John, when Peyton retired and you began the process of trying to solidify that position again, has it turned into anything that you anticipated, and what kind of challenge has it been for you personally as a former quarterback?
Well, it's a hard position to fill. And, they don't, we've tried to shake all these trees around here the last 4 years, and quarterbacks didn't fall out of it. So, it's difficult. But, we've taken a lot of shots. We've tried a lot of different situations, and I felt like, that was the way to go until we got it solidified. And so, hopefully with Joe this year, we got it solidified with, Drew learning underneath him. So it's been a battle, but, this league's a battle, and it's a tough situation, so especially at that position. So we're excited about, at least I'm excited about where we are at that position now.
John, talking about Joe, you've seen, not just him, but you've had players in the past that come in who have basically been told you're not good enough to be here. Have you seen that chip on your shoulder, even if it is a veteran, kind of medically damage?
Well, I didn't know how hard Joe. I know Joe was a hard worker. Obviously, the reputation that Joe had was he's a hard worker in Baltimore and always has been, and so that was never a question. I think with any football team, when we get back to that position, I think when your football team has confidence in the guy that's at that position, makes your football team better. And I think that what Joe proved and showed everybody on our football team is he can be that guy. And I think that our team has really responded to him well. And I think he's ready. Joe's ready to take that spot over. And he's gonna make our defense better. And what's going to make our defense better is we're going to play better on the offensive side, which is the goal, because we've struggled there the last couple of years. So if we play as well as we think we can on the offensive side, it'll make us that much better on defense.
Final two, Zach, and then Les.
John, do you want Dalton Risner to stay at left guard during camp, or do you want to see him?
I think they're trying with some different spots, but I think is with the youth, and I think Mike will probably leave him more at left guard. Get him comfortable there with what we're doing, and so. But Dalton is a guy that in college played all the positions, so we know we got a lot of flexibility with him. But that's up to Mike and what Mike wants to do there. But I think the plan early is to leave him at left guard.
John, the way we understand it, when you were recruiting Peyton, you said, I'm going to make sure you get your last hurrah. I'm going to surround you with what you need to win this year. I know Flacco's only 34, he's not 38, he's not 40. But have you had any conversations with Flacco similar to the conversations you had with Manny about sending him up, riding high, 100% of it?
No, I haven't, but I think that I think one of the reasons why he was looking forward to coming here is because he knows what this organization's about, and that's about competing for championships. And so I have not had a chance to talk to Joe about that. But as a quarterback, I always feel it's my job and the position I'm in as a GM is to put the best players on the field to give everybody the best chance to be successful. And that's not only with the best players around him, but also with the best coaching staff. And so I think Joe realizes the situation he's sitting in there, again, with the reputation of this organization for the long period of time that, I think Joe knows that coming in here, he's going to have a chance to finish it out right.
Last one, Woody Page.
Yeah, John. What's your feeling about going into camp pretty soon? What do you think the team's approach is going to be over the next 3 or 4 weeks in regard to time?
As far as what now?
In regard to Mr. B going to the Hall of Fame?
Well, I think everybody, and it's the great thing is, I think in this process is a lot of our players are going to get to know what Mr. Bowlen was all about. With the Hall of Fame, the attention that goes along with it, and the background and his history, and so that will educate our football team. And I think playing in the game and going there early, and the team's going to get a chance to go through the Hall of Fame, and which I think is very important because the young guys, a lot of them haven't been there, and so. To be able to go through the Hall of Fame and what it's meant and look up to the guys that are there that have been their heroes, I think is a great educational process for our team. And so I think it's, as I said earlier, not only practice days is good for us, but I think it's great for them to get to know our owner, but also understand what this game's all about too.
And you're going the day before when you get in?
Yeah, right after.
Do you think that will have more meaning in regard to the sticker and the honors of
It could. Yeah, I think the whole process too, and also, with Mr. B going in to learn a little bit about him. So yeah, I think it's going to be great for our team to go to the Hall of Fame because it's, I don't know how many of you have been through it, but it's pretty neat. If you like football, it's That's the place to be.